up, everybody? Hope everybody has had a fantastic weekend. Christine, I like the lighting you have in there better. It's just better. I don't know what to say. It's just a better lighting.
Does it look clear? Does
Yeah,
it look
yeah. It's
clear?
like it highlights you more. I mean, I still see the background, but I just
Oh,
see it looks more like studio quality lighting. I don't know. Somebody else make a
this
comment
is
and
a
tell me if it's better.
studio.
That's right.
This is
Yes.
a studio.
That's right. That's right. That's right. How was your weekend? Did you do anything? Did you do anything amazing? No.
So this past weekend was crazy because we had cheer camp for like 4 days
Ah,
straight
yes.
in Palm Springs, and then from there we went straight to Vegas for supposed to be like a couple nights, and yeah, it was a fiasco because my phone got stolen, and that we will
Ooh.
talk about on my segment because it was so
Yes.
crazy.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm interested in hearing about this. No, I didn't have do anything really big over the weekend. We'll get into baseball season and everything soon, but did not do a whole lot this past weekend. So it's nice. That's nice whenever you don't have any like every hour planned for you. So I
Yes.
liked that. Before we get into all the topics here, um, aren't you glad that I turned you on to Sydney Sweeney? Because now that's all that's been around, at least on my time. Maybe that's the algorithm speaking, but I feel like all I've heard about
Yeah,
is American Eagle since we've talked about it.
I know. And I wouldn't have known anything about it if you didn't bring it up last week. It's pretty crazy. It's still ongoing, but I do feel like the entertainment industry and the gossip in the entertainment industry only lasts for a couple weeks until the new drama unfolds. So she
Well,
just needs to make it to 2 week mark.
yeah, she'll be fine, and American Eagle will be fine. But actually, before we get into all of the topics we have here, I'm going to actually show you on the video here, another commercial. That's the next thing. We've already moved on to outrage over the next thing. So be ready. I will show you that. First of all, welcome to episode 20 of By the Rumor, everybody. It's cool that we're 20 episodes in. How we do
Wow.
this is I know it is crazy. We will talk about pop culture. We will talk about tech. We will talk about stocks. We will talk about crypto and how all of those intertwine with each other to make one big bundle of news. We'll start with the top stories, and you can see here to her left, right there,
My
over there to the
corner.
side. Yes, over in Christine's corner, you can see all of these stories that we will go over. Then Christine's going to talk to us a little bit about an unfortunate incident she had over the weekend where she lost her phone. And I honestly want to hear the story. I need to find out if she found her phone back or if she lost all the crypto that might have been hidden away on that phone. Her net worth may have went down from losing her phone. So I want to hear about that. And then I want to talk a little bit about the end of the show about potential people buying stocks on chain. So yes, you don't necessarily have to go through your regular centralized stock buying, your Robinhood or your Webull. You might be able to get even fractions of stocks all on chain. And I want to talk about the benefits and the downsides of buying stocks like that. Before we go over those, though, Christine, I've told you about this other company that we've moved on to the next thing from Sydney Sweeney.
Mhm.
This one is Dunkin' Donuts. Or Dunkin'? I should call them. Are you a Dunkin' fan? Is that
I
do you make your way
actually
there?
I actually am. And if we're gonna compare Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, I'm more of a Dunkin' fan.
Gotcha. Okay, well, check this out. They have released a new commercial. Okay, and without comment, I'm just going to play the commercial. I want you to pay attention to it, and we'll talk about it afterwards. Let me see if I can get this right here.
What are they gonna say? Like my donuts are brown or something?
Well, something like that. Yeah, let me see. Jeez. Okay, let me. I hope that's the first where I've learned how to do that. But just a second. Now I have to stop that. All right. What do you think about that? Are you outraged? What do you think about that?
So I was like, wait, um, wow. Because I thought so no, like what's that quote where people are like, oh, any press is good press kind of thing. And
Sure, sure,
Sydney
sure.
Sweeney and American Eagle really got the wrath, whether it's good or bad or whatever it did. everyone's paying attention to that, and Dunkin'
Yes.
Donuts clearly took notes. And I would think, my personal opinion, that a lot of companies would steer away from the way they did it because it got a lot of negative feedback. You know, there is a lot of
Mhm.
supporters of Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle, like yourself and other people. So I feel like, I don't know, that's crazy that they did that, but whatever. It's funny.
Here's my thought: is I think the Sydney Sweeney campaign. I don't know what they paid her, but they have gotten that back tenfold. Okay, I have not talked about American Eagle in a long time, but
Yeah.
it's on my feed. Absolute home run. They're using outrage culture to their advantage, right? And we saw it in their stock price. So are you saying that you think Duncan got in a room and they were like, "Look, we need to talk about like genetics or something and we need to put a white guy on there. Can we make this happen?" Are you thinking that that happened behind closed doors?
For Duncan?
For Duncan. Yeah, yeah, for Duncan. They saw
Yes.
what happened with Sydney Sweeney
Yes.
and they wanted to recreate it.
Yes. That totally happened behind closed doors because the all the backlash with American Eagle, that had to have been like on the forefront.
Gosh,
But it's like a mockery, and it's either to be funny or in support, and you
who is
can't
that
tell.
guy?
So
Who is that guy, by the way?
I don't know.
Would your
I
daughters
don't
know who that
know.
guy is? Yeah, yeah.
Probably. I didn't recognize him.
Said Gavin something. I don't know. I don't keep up with the teenage male heartthrobs. Um, anyway, yeah, he was like,
Wait, let's look up who it. What's his? What
here,
was he referring to?
let me bring this. It's Gavin Casa Legno. Gavin Casa Legno. Look, look him up and see
Okay,
what
I
you
know who it
can.
is.
What's he
So
do?
my
What's so
daughters,
great?
my daughters watch a show called The Summer You Turned Pretty, and he's
Yes,
one of the brothers in the show. So I guess he's, that reference where he's like, "Oh, Golden Summer," because he's in that
just like
show.
me. Yeah, just like
Yeah,
me.
and he's in that show, The Summer I Turned Pretty. So he's referencing the show and making a reference to Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle commercial. Have we heard any backlash or feedback?
Yeah, I mean, of course we've heard backlash because I think here's what I think. I think this is bait, right? You put out something, you put out a white guy there, you mentioned genetics, right? Which he did, and then all of a sudden you let the social media commentary come in, and the left will hook, line, and sinker. They're like, "Oh, we're mad, we're pissed," and the right says, "Well, we love everything that the left hates, and the left doesn't like this, so I'm going to start buying more Dunkin' coffee, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever." And yeah, it is working a bit. Although I went ahead and looked up their stock price. It did not go up to the degree that American Eagles went up.
I'm glad that you checked that because that was going to be my next question. So
And no,
maybe this will drive more people to watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. His name on the show is Jeremiah.
hey, I'm Jeremiah. How you ladies doing? Okay, no, I'm just working on being on that show. All right, let's move on. Anybody that just tuned in and sees Colbert doubles down on liberal guests, they're probably pretty confused about right now. So anyway, I wanted to cover that, and I figured we would actually show the ad on there. But let's start with Colbert doubles down on liberal guests. Were you ever a Colbert watcher, the late night late show with Colbert?
I have watched it a few times. I was never a huge fan, but I would watch it. It was years ago, but
Yeah, yeah.
I don't currently.
Yeah, no, nor do I. Well, it got canceled. Canceled like it's going off the air, not canceled like
Oh,
people are outraged.
not culture cancel,
Yes, not culture canceled, TV canceled.
TV cancel.
And they're thinking that he may have subscribed to Go Woke, Go Broke, and he may have chosen the latter. Or I guess he chose both on those, and they're canceling him because of ratings. And it's not a normal, normally in a firing, right? You don't let the person stay in their position, right? You show them the door and get them out. But he is still there, and I think this will be the last season that he's doing it. Well, he's doubling down, and he's having quite a bit more liberal guests, and most of his jokes, he's still aiming right at the conservatives, and basically he's doubling down on everything Do you think this is why I literally can't buy a pair of jeans or be advertised a delicious donut now or watch late night TV without it being politicized? Is he smart for doubling down like this? Or is this a bad move by him?
I would say with Steve Colbert, I don't know. He's iffy. I feel like he's
Yeah.
always been leaning to the left a lot of the times and makes some off-color jokes and whatever. I don't know. Like I feel like he's kind of washed up these days.
Well,
And
don't
even if he tries to like come back, I don't think.
I mean, this is just me, but to me, if I'm trying to get a media empire, right, and I'm trying to get both the left and the right to watch me, right, because both of their dollars spend, I take jabs at, I piss off everybody.
Right.
And maybe that's a good way to have nobody listen to you. I don't know. But to me, every time you piss off the left, you make the right happy. And every time you piss off the right, you make the left happy. You might as well do both of those and see if you can capture both audiences because of that. It seems to me that they think if they just speak ill of one side, in this case, speaking ill of the right, that it will help out him get more viewers from the left, and it doesn't work, right? We've seen this time and time and time again, the whole go woke go broke thing, and now it's even on late night TV, and he doesn't have a show anymore to make.
That's what happens.
That is what happens. And unfortunately, I can't look at his stock price to see if the Colbert Report stock price goes down, or Paramount or whoever he is associated with. But my guess is you won't see anything like that. But he doesn't have a show anymore, and it's because he didn't have any ratings, and for a reason he didn't have any ratings.
That's what
All right,
happens. He's not funny. Oh, and by the
not
way,
funny.
before we move on, talking about cancel culture and doubling down, did you hear about Billie Eilish as well?
Oh, tell me about Billie
So
Eilish.
she was in Ireland, I think, this past week on tour, and she during the concert says, she feels seen, and she finally feels seen, and she feels comfortable there, and everyone's like, "Oh, why? Because you're white, and then they're like, because you're in Ireland, like, oh wow, she lost 9 million listeners on Spotify in one day after that, and huge backlash and saying that it was racist and she just likes white people and this and that. But I guess what happened was I mean, her background, she's of Irish descent. And so she felt comfortable there, and that's her background and her culture and stuff. But I guess
I
a
don't
lot of
get
her
this.
listeners took it really bad.
She was guilty of being white, is what you're telling me, and being proud that she was in a place that was from her heritage.
Yeah.
Um,
They said, so I go through the comments on TikTok and all these posts, and it was saying she could have said it in a better way. Why did she say she finally feels seen and she feels comfortable there and this and that? And they're like, what's that supposed to mean towards like everybody else that's not white? But I'm like, there comes a point where the way we take it is a personal
we don't
problem.
have to get offended by everything.
Right.
There was a clothing brand that was literally called "For Us by Us." Okay, FUBU, and I'll go ahead and tell you, us wasn't me, and I didn't care. Whatever. Whoever
Yeah,
wants to
you
wear
wore
their
it.
I did not. I did not. Never wore a FUBU jersey. But my point is, I never was offended, and nobody needs to be offended by everything. Just live life,
It's how
bros.
you, and it's, don't you feel like it's how you take it? Like, if you're offended by it, like something like this, it might be where you're just personally, like, you're just taking it personal. It has nothing to do with you or what you think she's saying. Like, it's
Well, I,
crazy.
I I've got no problem with like voting with your dollars. Okay, if you don't like Sydney Sweeney's ad, then don't go buy American Eagle jeans. And if you don't like
Billie
Bud
Eilish.
Light having a trans person, well, Billie Eilish, you don't don't listen to her thing. And if you don't like a trans person repping Bud Light, then don't drink Bud Light. Sure, vote with your dollars. I just don't understand the social media outrage, I guess, because usually when I vote with my dollars, I don't feel the need to go talk about it.
I
But
know. It's so crazy. I couldn't believe she lost 9 million listeners in one day because of her comments on stage that she was so comfortable there in Ireland because
that
she's with
sounds
her
like
people.
bots. that's bots. That's AI. There's not 9 million
No.
humans that
I
unsubscribed.
mean, I would think that too, but it's so extreme these days. Like, no matter what side you're leaning on, that
It is. It is crazy, and you do see it from both sides. All right, on to something that is tradable and not Billie Eilish. Let's go with Palantir. You familiar with them? They're kind of the hot stock over the last like 12
yes,
months. Okay.
PLTR.
PLTR, there you go. Well, their stock hit a new all time high following the company's strong quarterly financial report and bullish commentary on the AI revolution. So I'll ask you this: have you ever owned it? Have you ever considered owning it? And why is it continuing to just be the darling of every show that talks about trading over the last 12 months or so? Why does it get so much press?
I think that it's a great company that is starting up, and a lot of people feel like they missed out on companies like Nvidia, and they should have, jumped in from the gate. And I think they are looking. A lot of people that trade are looking at Palantir, PLTR, as similar to Nvidia, and I think, you know, it's like crossing fingers that this is the next Nvidia and can surpass Nvidia, and it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, it is. It says in the second quarter, Palantir generated revenue growth that accelerated 48% year over year to record $1 billion. The resulted adjusted earnings per share is 16 cents, which soared by 78%. Man, I'm
Amazing.
looking at a zoomed out, we're talking like from July 2021 till now chart of them. It is straight to the top. I mean, we're talking 1,500% growth
Isn't that
they've had.
insane? Insane. And I think the current price right now is what? Is it in front of you?
Here, I just had it pulled up. It is, it's up 7% at $11.40. Here's the thing: it's moving like a meme stock, right? It's moving like a meme stock, but I don't think this is a meme stock. I think this is something that people. I mean, it may have gotten a big amount of people, following it like a meme stock, but I feel like there's actual like fundamentals behind why people love Palantir so much.
Right.
Am I right there, or is that?
Yeah,
Do you think
you're
it's truly a meme stock?
no, I think you're correct. And I think it's one of those stocks that it's like get in now while it's still, it's still in its early stages compared to a lot of these other companies. And they're very, like, everyone on their board is very involved in government contracts and making sure that they're in all of these networking events with like that have to do with a lot of the militaries all over the world. And so I think it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I think it's above a meme stock. All right. On yesterday, we saw a strong market recovery on Monday with tech ETFs at the forefront after last week's sell off due to last week we had weak labor market data. The jobs report was bad, and then escalating trade tensions. Are we just on I mean, I know the stock market is just a cycle, an up and down roller coaster.
Hmm.
Why are we so freaking out about the jobs report and then literally days later we're cool and we're just like, okay, tech ETFs, that's the place. Why are we so Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with the market whenever nothing's really changed from the job report in 7 days? Why are we like that?
Wait, before I answer that, I looked at Palantir just to make sure because I was like, there's no way. I feel like it's more than that. Like the stock price, it's $172.
Oh, what did I see? I might
I
have
don't
looked at something
know.
to the side
Yeah,
there.
correction, guys. It's
Yeah.
172, but
Yeah.
it's still a great price. And it's still in its early stages, has yet to go. It's been signing huge, crazy contracts, and a lot of companies are signing on with Palantir. So I would say $172 is still a great entry point. Um,
Yeah. And by the way, you're absolutely right. It is even what I was looking at, it says 172. The $11.40 is how much it's up today, which
oh
is
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
big.
was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, $11.40, which hey, that's a pretty big 7% leap. Pretty good there. But yeah, tech stocks have rebounded. Look, tech is here to stay. Whether it's
Yeah.
Palantir or AI, Nvidia, whatever, all of tech is going up in my mind. The only way, now granted, it's a competitive space, But if you have an up and coming tech giant or a tech giant that's just getting better, like NVIDIA, it's probably a move that in the long term is going to do okay if they have good people running the company. Okay. NVIDIA obviously has done well over the last decade or so. I think Tesla probably will do well over the next decade or so because they seem to be able to want to put a lot of funds into just growth in the tech space. So lots going on in the tech sector. All right, let's move on to crypto outflow. The US spot Ethereum exchange traded funds, the ETFs, saw a record 465.1 million in net outflows, largely led by BlackRock's ETA fund, which contributed 375 million to outflows. So Christine, you are a Ethereum bull, okay? Why is there so many outflows from ETFs? Don't people believe in it, brah?
I just think it just goes like in a cycle, and we're for crypto right now, we are in, I wouldn't say our bear cycle, but I mean it's down, and we've been in crypto for a while, right? And these aren't like the good times of the year.
Well, I do not believe we are in a bear cycle. I believe we are in the midst of a bull run with a pullback
Right. With a
right
pullback.
now.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. But like with, see, even watching like all these like crypto news things are like so sad about everything, and they're like, well,
That's so dumb. And you're right. You're right. It goes from, 120, Bitcoin goes from 120,000 to 110,000, and people are crying, acting like this whole crypto thing is over. And
it is not over.
it is not over.
Never over.
Well, even if it goes down to 80,000, it's
Love
not
it.
over. It's just, yeah, sure. Yeah, go down to 80,000,
Right?
whatever. It's not over. And by the way, you can make money up and down. But my point here is we've got all these ETFs, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we've got BlackRock, who we always wanted institutional money in, but we didn't even think that they might pull it back out. And that's what happened, a $465 million outflow of Ethereum ETFs. And I am not as bullish as you are on Ethereum. I've told you before, I think gas fees will absolutely keep it from growing as big as it could. And because of that, I see limited growth for it. And I think this shows because Bitcoin has went bonkers over the last 12 months, and Ethereum went, it raised, but it never got to
I know.
4,000.
It's still coiled.
It's still, okay. So
It's
you
gonna
said
go.
spring.
It's gonna go.
Okay. Will we see $4,000 in
Yes.
2025?
Yes.
In 2025? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You should go to Polymarket. Well, you could monetize that hunch if you
How?
wanted to. Well, you could either buy Ethereum on leverage, right? Or you could, I think there is Polymarket betting where you can be like, it's going to reach $4,000 by the end of August or by the end of 2025. And you can bet on that on Polymarket. So just a thought, if you're looking to, if you've got that big conviction.
I might.
Yeah, okay.
How
Do
much
it.
will I
Do it.
make? Where do I make more? Buy it on leverage or go on Polymart?
It would be leverage if you knew it wasn't going to go down a little bit first. Because if you go on leverage, you could get liquidated. Okay.
Oh,
so you
I'll
do it
get
on leverage.
liquidated.
Right, where it goes down to $2,000 first, then hits 4,000, and
They'll
then
take
you
my
were-
house.
Right, exactly. Then you were right, and you've lost your house. All right, Border Patrol. Let's talk some Border Patrol.
They're hiring.
They found some pumpkins the other day. Okay, some good old
What?
pumpkins getting ready for Halloween. Got to ship those over, and inside those pumpkins they found $400,000 of methamphetamine inside these pumpkins at the U.S.-Mexico border in Texas.
my God.
So there's meth in those in these
Holy
pumpkins.
crap, man. I was like, I didn't even think about that, the pumpkins. But yeah, it's so ballsy of them because they should know by now, especially like how strict this administration is, that they're checking everything that's coming from, and I'm saying like anywhere, it's
Yeah.
not just Mexico, like anything being imported.
Well,
They're checking.
This is how they did it. They found 136 condoms were found filled with 44 pounds of liquid methamphetamine hidden inside 4 pumpkins. Okay.
What
And
the freak? Were they driving this in or flying it in or by ship?
the driver and passenger were taken into custody. So I believe this is by
Driven.
car. Yes.
Wow. Imagine how much comes in through the cargo ships.
Oh gosh, I'm sure there is some Walter White kind of stuff going on through the cargo ships. I am sure. Uh, let's see. It says in September, which is also along the border of Texas, they found 11.9 million worth of methamphetamine found in a tractor trailer. So pumpkins, tractor trailers. You got to check those condoms, Christine. You never know when there might be a few
That's
pounds of meth
insane.
inside. Actually, I'm
That is
thinking.
insane. I Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say how smart that was. They probably just put a little bitty hole in the pumpkin, little bitty hole in the pumpkin, shoved a condom in, right? And then injected the liquid meth in through the condom that went through the little bitty hole, right? And then it like expands, of course, because it's a condom filled with meth. And then they tie it off and shove that knot that you just tied off into the pumpkin. And now you have just a very small hole in the pumpkin, but inside the pumpkin, one big Trojan Magnum filled with methamphetamine in there. That's how they do it, Christine. I'm I'm I'm
Is
I'm
it
telling you.
smart? Is it smart though, knowing that this administration, anything you're bringing in from anywhere else is going to be checked? Like, I thought it was crazy when you first said it, and then I'm like, that's dumb because they're checking everything, doesn't care. Like, they're gonna rip open those freaking pumpkins or run them through x ray machines, whatever. And then you find these Magnum condoms with like heroin or meth, and they're like, come on, dummy.
Well, you're right. It's not smart since they got caught, and I'm not even talking about it. If it was really smart, then I wouldn't be talking about it because they wouldn't
Right.
have got caught. So yes, it's not smart, but at the same time, like you've
Innovative?
talked innovative. You've talked to people that have been in jail before. I know because I've even been
Yes.
on a spaces with you when you've talked to people that have been in jail. And isn't it
Yes.
amazing how they can come up with ways to like do tattoos or anything like that? They come up with. I've told they're like literally get like candle soot, okay, and use that as like ink, okay.
Oh, you remember that? Yeah.
Criminals are smart, okay. They're just not
Yeah.
using their smarts to in the normal way. They're doing
You
things
know
that
what this reminds me of? Do you remember this? And then if you guys are listening in, definitely type in on that live chat if you guys want to chime in. It's there. But in 2019, a huge cargo ship owned by JP Morgan Chase, they got stopped and they seized $1.3 billion in cocaine. And then that
ooh.
story just went away. But it was a cargo ship owned by JP Morgan Chase, and the feds stopped them and they seized $1.3 billion
That's
in
a lot
cocaine.
for a JP Morgan. What is JP Morgan up to?
Yeah, and what happened? And they're still around. It didn't bankrupt them.
The
They
story
didn't
just
go to
went away.
jail. Just went
Yeah, the
away.
story
You know what the
just went
cure
away.
is? Money all the time.
It is. It is. By the way, ETH for Food did say ETH is going to rip when it's done resting. And he drew a little
Yeah, he's
bomb
right.
emoji. But then also he said he's now put chasing the high. I guess JP Morgan is chasing the high for sure. Appreciate you in here, ETH. By the way, anybody that is listening or in here, share this space. Let's get some more people in here. We've got the last little bit. Christine's going to talk about her phone missing. I'm going to talk a little bit about stocks that can be bought on chain. So share this out. People will want to join in and hear. All right, grocery stress. Christine, out of all the stresses you have about the economy living out there on the West Coast, most Americans are saying grocery prices are now the top source of stress. Is that you? It says as inflation and tariffs drive up the cost of many everyday essentials, groceries are giving us the most stress. Do you feel like that's the case? Is that you? Is it groceries mainly?
Yeah, groceries, I would say I'm always, can I cuss on here? I'm always
You
bitching
can.
about
You
it.
can. You can. Yeah.
I'm always bitching about it at the grocery store, and I'm like, what the hell? Chips? Like a bag of chips, $7?
$7. I'm so
Yeah,
glad it's the same in Texas, and we're supposed to be cheaper than y'all. And
right.
I
$7.
don't.
And
I shouldn't have to spend that.
that has been the case for a long time before this administration. I remember bitching about it a year and a half ago. And I was like, this is crazy. I can't wait till it goes down. Whatever, it helps me get away from my chip addiction. But along with everything else, and I think we talked about this last week too, because I was like, "Hey, are you seeing it?" Because I'm not seeing
I see
groceries go
seven
down at all.
dollars. I see $7 chips. That's dumb. By the way, did you see that the Democratic X account? Okay, it's at Democrats or whatever. I
Oh
don't know what
shit!
it is,
I
but
didn't even know
the,
that existed.
well, it does exist. They put out a post that said, "This is Donald Trump's America with grocery prices," and it had this chart that showed the grocery prices going
Oh
from
yeah,
little to a lot. Did you see this?
they
Yeah.
deleted it.
They deleted it because it basically showed exactly what happened in the Biden administration. There was about 15% of that chart that had anything to do with Trump. And,
He hasn't been here that long. Oh my god, that's funny.
correct. Eats for Food, by the way, says those Ruffles jalapeno ranch chips are so good. So he says, yeah, I think he says those are worth the $7 is what he's
Yeah.
trying to
I
say.
mean, it's so I avoided the chips for a long time, right? Along with like a lot of unnecessary, like you don't need it. And then I was like, no, I can't. I'm back. Oh, and then just 2 weeks ago, I don't even know if I should say this on here, but one of
Go
my
for it.
clients, he works for one of the huge chip companies, and he knows I love chips, so he ended up, he might be watching. I got my client from here from X, but he ended up bringing me a huge box of freaking chips. And it's like my favorite chips because he was like, "What's your favorite kind?" I was like, "Any like hot chips." A huge box. And being that every bag of chips is like $7, that's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, he gave you big money then. What is your favorite chip? I don't know this about you.
Just anything hot. But I love jalapeno, anything.
Jalapeno are good. I tend to find that jalapeno chips have that powder jalapeno on them, and I don't think that matches like the
Hmm.
jalapeno flavor very good. But I do love a good spicy chip. All of the what's the Cheetos, the hot Cheetos? Are
Hot
you loving those?
Cheetos. Yeah, hot Cheetos, the hot Ruffles, hot Funyun,
There's a
hot
Korean
freaking
hot dog.
anything. It's good.
There's a Korean hot dog place near me that they like cover their hot dog or corn dogs in
Hot
hot
Cheeto.
Cheetos. Yes, is that good?
I
Do I need to
had
eat
that
that?
before. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay. I need to give it a try then. All
Yeah,
right.
it's really good.
Let's talk about one last news topic there. Kathy Wood. Are you familiar with Kathy Wood? She is kind of a
Yes.
yeah a stock market name extraordinaire. But anyway, she sold $1.3 million in Robinhood. It says Arkham Invest
Mhm.
CEO Kathy Wood sold Robinhood market shares worth 1.3 million. Why did she do that? To acquire Nvidia and AMD shares worth $4.1 million
Wow.
each. She sold Hood so she could get Nvidia and AMD. This goes back to what we said. Technology is investable, and she's doing it in a big way there with big money. What do you think about that? Is
Yeah.
Robinhood is that worthy to invest in anymore, or are you seeing your money is best put elsewhere?
I think Robinhood is still a good place to put your money in, but she being like a, I wouldn't want to say risky, but being an aggressive investor, she might see that, technology is a huge one right now. It might move like bigger than the crypto world right now because it's like it's like a shift into tech revolution, and she might want to just get a bigger bag in that and then just come back when
I mean,
she secures that.
yeah, the idea is not to put money in companies that you like the most. The idea is to put money in companies that are going to uh,
Profit you faster.
correct. So she may love Robinhood, but she may see that Nvidia and AMD are investing in a lot of things that will be useful in the future, like GPUs and chip manufacturing. So
Did
she
she
may just say,
keep,
like, that's the way.
did she sell all of it or?
It doesn't say how many she had in Robinhood. You know, she may have had 10 million in Robinhood and only sold 1.3 million. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's 1.3 million in Robinhood that she got rid
1.3
of.
million to her is $5.
It's not much in her fund for sure. She's been doing this for a long time. saw a picture of her when she was much younger. She'd been doing this for a long time. Yeah, she'd been doing this for a long time.
Absolutely.
As I saw it, I was like, wow. It's not like she just jumped into the game late in the game. No, she's been doing this for a while. That
Yeah.
is it for here. I'm going to stop it right there so it doesn't keep on going. That is it for our topics today. Christine, you said you went. Was it Florida? You went to first, right? Florida, then Vegas. No,
No, so it was Palm Springs,
Palm
and
Springs.
then
Okay.
from there we drove to Vegas. Yes.
Okay. Well, Christine had quite an adventure that she went on as she went from Palm Springs to Vegas. Had a little bit of a phone mishap. She's going to tell us about it next on Christine's Corner.
Christine's Corner, where the buzz is hot. Crypto trends or the latest pop plot. From gadgets that glow to stars in the sky. If it's on her mind, you know it's gonna fly.
Excellent. All right. I am interested to hear this. I really want to have this conversation with you of what happened with your phone and what were you scared of the most. Take it away, Christine. Well, first, before you take it away, somebody share this. Somebody share this space so you can hear. Everybody else can hear Christine's mishaps over the weekend, and do that. And yeah, let's hear it, Christine. What happened over the weekend with that phone?
So this, by the way, is a new phone now. I wasn't blessed with someone that actually found it and was a noble, honorable person that would turn it in. And I have no idea how it even happened, but I think it was this guy that leaned over while I was playing on like a craps machine because I was trying the strategy that I saw on TikTok. But anyways, was on a craps machine and this guy leans over and he said, "Hey, you're paying so much attention to this game that you're not noticing your purse is just like right next to you. Someone can take it." And I was like, "Oh, thank you," thinking he was just letting me know, "Hey, like just be careful." So I strapped the purse back on me, but I think when he leaned in to say that, he took my phone.
Oh, wow.
So you guys need to be careful. It's like freaking magicians over here. And I was like, "What do you mean?" I did think like, "What do you mean?" Like my purse is right next to me. Yes, if someone does grab it, I'll see and then he gets chased down, security everywhere, but I think he must have just sleight of hand grabbed my phone.
No doubt. And whenever he says something like that, you kind of trust him. You're like, oh, this guy's looking out for me, right? So you'd like put your
Yeah.
guards down.
And I think too, when a stranger goes up to you and he's like leaning in, you're looking at him, so he must have like just grabbed the phone. I don't know. I suck at paying attention. But anyways, fast forward, I go file with the lost and found there, and then they're like, "Hey, it usually gets turned in. People don't really steal phones anymore, right? Because we have that option to brick your phone now. Like if you
Right.
get on your Apple ID or whatever it is, your account, you could just say lost or stolen, then it's a useless phone to them. So a lot of people will just turn in the phone. Well, I had a guy that just doesn't turn the phone, wasted time there for like an hour-ish or two. Sam's like tracking my phone because of the Find My iPhone thing, and it shows that they're still in that hotel, or so we thought. And then after a while, we go ahead and leave back to our hotel room because I have my iPad. So this is where I get into freak out mode because I start thinking, "Oh my gosh, Apple Pay is on there." And
Yeah.
sometimes that
Yeah.
thing goes off without me even trying
Yeah.
to
You
pay
just see that it
anything.
popped up on your phone. And
Right.
you're
I'm
like,
like,
oh,
who
I
are
guess
you?
I.
Yeah, who are you trying to pay around here? And
Right.
then, how about if they have a hacker friend that could just bypass the code? And then I started thinking, it didn't even occur to me until we're back in the room. I'm like, my investing apps are all on there. A lot of not all of my crypto wallets, but a few of them.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
started freaking out. That's when I started freaking out because I was like, oh my God, hopefully my. And when do we enter our seed phrase? Like it's just you put that away and hopefully never have to like enter it again because you're safe and it's in, laptops and your devices and whatever. But I started realizing I messed up, like I shouldn't have all these things in my phone. And then I had a list of like passwords in my phone. Like it was just
Oh, no.
so bad. So we ended up putting it on lock mode to make it useless. Started Not only did my phone just get lost, but on the back, I have it here too. I had my credit card in there and my driver's license
Oh my
and
gosh.
my room key. So it was just really bad. I had to call the credit card company and cancel that. They couldn't lock the card or anything, just cancel it altogether. I had to tell the hotel, like, hey, somebody has my room key. Like, I don't know what to do. So there. But I want to talk about the investing apps and the crypto apps you have on your
Yeah.
phone. Uh, Please always have your recovery or your seed phrase hidden somewhere, not on your phone, but
Yeah.
in your safe, like written anywhere. And then please write well because luckily for me, I do have them stored away, but I'm having Sam read them to me so I could log them into my new phone. And I'm like, that's not it. And he's like, I can't read your writing.
Oh
I didn't
no.
even think about it. I was like, you need to take that a lot more seriously. Like he's like,
Yeah.
this is so it was a lot of back and forth on that. And I'm like, what was like, I don't even know. So what helped me was I started looking through my old phones that I had and turned them on. And I didn't, one of them I didn't clear out. And it helped me.
So wait a second. Your handwriting was so bad that you had to go to another phone to see the to get the right seed phrase. Is that right?
Yeah, on a couple of the crypto wallets. Oh my God. I was so annoyed at myself. And Sam's like, I don't know what that says. Like, I really wrote it so effortless and didn't care like there wasn't money in there or something. So
Right.
thank God for the other phone not being cleared out yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was able to, it was still logged in to a couple of
Yeah.
my
So,
wallets. So then I was able to see, and I'm like, what did I even write? Was I
and as far as you
freaking
know, no crypto was spent. No transactions happened that you could see.
right? Right. And then I wish I could see, if that there was transactions that were declined, whether on whatever it was, like any of
Yeah.
my credit cards or, trying to get crypto. And a lot of people, hackers can like clone your phone just from like Wi-Fi and stuff. So I was so nervous. And now, luckily that with technology that we have now, my phone had synced or like backed up a day before. So I had able to access everything in my new phone, but having to log in, of course, on every single thing. And then I was able to erase that phone from remotely. But it's so insane, guys. Like, I don't even know if still what I'm doing is correct, but definitely learned a lesson in make sure you have your passcode on your phone. If there's still people that don't, come on. Second, I don't know if we should be having any crypto wallets that have any kind of money in
Yeah. I've
our
thought about
phone.
that
What are
so
your
much.
thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, well, first of all, you really live things through your phone, right? You do a
Yeah.
lot of things through your phone. I've always said, even like trading, I've been like,
I
oh, I really
know.
like to do my trading on the desktop, right? I feel
I
like I can
know.
see charts better. I feel like I really enjoy like the desktop, the laptop experience. I don't necessarily prefer the mobile experience, but you almost do everything on your phone,
Everything.
which I actually have always been a bit jealous of that you can do that so much of. But whenever I think about things like this, that's probably not good that you have basically your life on that phone. And if you lose it, then somebody has your life, basically.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was close to a heart attack. I didn't think about it till like an hour or two in, like, oh well. I was very like, oh well, I'll just get a new phone. Don't care. And then I was like, wait a minute. And then I started thinking like a
Yeah.
few of my crypto wallets were on there and there
Yeah.
is money on there. And I'm like, oh my God, do I even have okay, like my phone, I'm gonna turn it off remotely, but do I even have my seed like I haven't checked. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. Like how about if it's just gone, or you don't write correctly like I did. Thank God I didn't clear my last phone because I wouldn't have gotten into some of the wallets I had. Isn't that
Wow.
insane? So
That is
dumb,
crazy.
guys. Please learn from my freaking mistakes. And
So
oh my gosh.
let me add one more thing to your seed phrase. So yes, keep them written down, right? I would suggest keep them written down with pen and paper and not electronically because
Right.
there's a lot of reasons why that's a bad idea. Even more, some of my more valuable crypto wallets I don't have on pen and paper because I'm worried there could be a fire. right?
Oh my gosh, I totally thought about that because of the
Yeah.
fires here in California. I heard
Yes.
that a lot of people lost their ledgers.
Oh.
A lot of people lost, like, their seed phrases, obviously. What happens? Like, the self custody is amazing, but like,
Well,
what do you
okay. So what I do on some of my more valuable wallets is I actually buy. You can buy it from Amazon, a little metal plate, and you can buy a little metal etcher, and you can etch in your seed phrase into that metal plate, which can
Oh, that's
withstand a
right.
fire, right? Which can
You
withstand a
bought that?
fire. I have it. Yeah, I would show it to you, but it's got a seed phrase on it, so I'm not going to do that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
don't show it. Wait,
uh,
so okay,
it,
I guess, and that's if you're able to find it through the rubble.
That's true. That's true. But I know a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper I wouldn't be able to find in the rubble because
That's true.
it
I
would get
came up
incinerated.
with this thought process now that I'm dumb and lost, got my phone stolen and can't write correctly to where anyone could read, blah blah blah. How about if, and obviously it has to be a significant amount that you're worried about, you just end up having this paper in an envelope and then you store it in the bank safes, like where you have.
Do you remember what the Winklevoss twins did in Bitcoin Billionaires, our
I don't
first book
remember.
from our book club? They actually now remember they had big money in there, right? It ended up becoming Gemini, the exchange, so
Yeah.
they have big money in there, and they actually had different words in different envelopes spaced throughout the country in different safe deposit box. So you need to get 4 words from this safety deposit box and 4 other words from this safety deposit box in a different part of the country or world, maybe, I don't know. And anyway, so they actually spaced out where their seed phrase words were in different parts of the country, which paranoia or
That's a
smart?
lot of money though, So they're
Yes.
like, how about if a person at the bank decides to just go criminal minded and then opened the safe deposit box? So they're like thinking, don't trust anyone, and then spread this out. And I think that's how far you need to go with like a huge,
Well,
crazy.
for the Winklevoss twins, this is before Bitcoin was really a big deal. They got in whenever it was like hundreds of dollars, right? So
Mhm.
they got in very early, and they said they were panicking because they had to let it go through security with these envelopes in it that literally have, call it millions of dollars in envelopes with these seed phrases, but nobody, TSA would have no clue what that seed phrase
Yeah,
is
imagine you're
at that
so
time.
freaking, yeah, you're so nervous because you have envelopes with one word in it. That's so funny.
Yeah, but that's the way they were. Yeah, like I said, paranoia or really smart. Well,
So
that was good, Christine.
is it smart to do a safe deposit box? Like put okay, you have the sheet metal one and then
Yeah.
maybe put that in there, or even like,
Yeah, I mean, it probably is smart, but I would have a backup somewhere else, maybe around your house where you can do it. I don't know. If you've got big money, take whatever precautions you can, right? Because I've heard of all kinds of things about, people taking over, like a home invasion, and really all they want is 12 words from you.
oh
Um,
my God.
yeah,
Yeah, remember when that was happening? Like
I've heard this. Yeah.
people were putting like guns to people's heads, like, give me your seed phrase. Like, that's how crazy it is, guys. And it's hard for you to call the cops or like feds on your crypto, your seed phrase getting stolen or whatever it is. Like, because you know, it's
Get
not
this.
super regulated.
Innovative put in our chat. He's had AV racks melt in the fire, which I don't know if he was really affected by the California fires or not, but he says he had AV racks melt in the fire, which just shows you if you have it digitally, not only could it get stolen, you actually could have like system failure, like a fire, and not have it
Ugh.
there. What's more, if you've got a desk with a computer there, it's not an AV rack, but it is a computer, and you've got the pieces of paper near your computer and the computer catches on fire, then what's going to happen to those pieces of paper that are near your computer? They're going to get up in smoke too. So, Christine, I'm sorry this happened to you, this phone thing, but this might have been for the better, right? So you
Right. I think so
you're
too.
scared straight.
I
Right?
definitely got humbled by it. It showed me how careless I've been, like with this writing down the seed phrase, and then just having so much on my phone and how much I rely on it. Just never thought about stuff like this. So it's definitely made me look at it in a different way. And now I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe we should put, a bunch of the seed phrases in a safety deposit box. Will I do it like the Winklevoss twins? Probably not. But like, somewhere else, not just in the house and on,
If
your
I think
phone.
about it, I will find that little metal thing off Amazon and see if I can put it on my feed where people can see that, because that is a helpful thing to do. Worth, if nothing else, it could survive a fire. And check that out. All right, let's talk about some birthdays. Got some good ones today. Once again, Christine, I did not share with you birthdays today because we have some big names today that are having a birthday today. Let's start out with this first one. This is an American politician and attorney. He served as the 44th president of the United States from 2009 until 2017. He's a member of the Democratic Party. He was the first African American to be elected to the presidency. Who is celebrating a birthday today at age 64? Are you frozen? Oh,
Yeah, we're both frozen on my screen.
okay. There, you're back. Did you say the
Okay.
name?
No, but happy birthday, Obama.
Yes, Barack Hussein Obama is 64 today.
64.
Next person, 64. Going to start pulling on that sweet Social Security checks next year. Next person is an American member of the British royal family, and she's a former actress. She was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, a little small town. Maybe you've heard of it. During her studies at Northwestern University, she began playing small roles in television series and film. Who is celebrating a 44th birthday today?
Who?
It's Meghan Markle. Happy birthday.
Wow.
Meghan
Happy
Markle.
birthday, Megan.
Age 44, born in 81.
She lives
All right.
in California now, right?
I don't know. She was born and raised there in LA. Next up, this gentleman is 70. He's an American actor, filmmaker, and musician, and had his first big break when he co-wrote and starred in a 1996 drama film called Sling Blade. Who is this?
No idea.
Let me give you one more. I'll give you another one. He was married to Angelina Jolie.
Oh, Billy Bob.
It is Billy Bob Thornton.
Happy
He
birthday,
is
Billy Bob.
70 years old. He is
Billy
70
Bob.
years old. Next one, I will give you bonus points if you get this one, but I would get this one because I am a big fan of the show, or I used to be a big fan of the show Lost. This gentleman is a Korean-American actor, voice actor, and producer known for his role in Lost and in Hawaii Five-0 and in the Saints Row series of video games. I'm just going to say it because I'm not thinking you know this one. His name is Daniel Day Kim, and he was
Oh,
Jin
yeah. Happy
in
birthday,
Lost.
Daniel.
And last one is a former professional stock car racing driver, currently an announcer for Fox NASCAR. He's a top executive for Hendrick Motorsports and is often considered one of the greatest drivers in the history of NASCAR. He is 54 years old. Christine, what former NASCAR driver is age 54?
I don't know.
It is Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon is 54 years old
Happy
today.
birthday, Jeff.
So happy birthday to you, Jeff. And with that, that is the birthdays that we're celebrating today. I want to talk to you a little bit about tokenized stocks. Let's do some voice lessons.
Voice lessons, you'll hear it loud and clear. Tech and crypto wisdom, the truth is here. Big thoughts, bold moves, cutting through the haze. When the voice speaks up, you'll be amazed. So listen up.
That's right. You can see up here, I've got that you can buy stocks on chain. So, Christine, you and I talk about crypto and stocks all the time, right? And many times I've said, I don't really care for stocks in the way that I can't buy them after market close. I always think that sucks, but I can buy Bitcoin at 3 a.m. in the morning if I want to, okay? And that's always been the case, but things are changing a little bit. People are starting, there's one group in particular that is X Stocks. You can check them out at xstocks.com. They actually have Solana addresses for many important stocks. Not all of them, but Abbott. These are in alphabetical order. I'll just say some big ones. Abbott, Google, Amazon, Bank of America, Berkshire Hathaway, Circle, Coinbase, Comcast, GameStop, Home Depot, Johnson & Johnson, MicroStrategy. Okay, I believe you are a owner of MicroStrategy. We'll talk about why that might be a bad idea to have MicroStrategy in the form of a tokenized stock. QQQ, Netflix, Pepsi, SPY, Walmart. These are just a few of the ones that you could get through these X stocks. And X stocks is actually a company or a group that is tokenizing these to a Solana address. They actually have a Solana address in different places, like Kraken can start to have these stocks traded that are always kind of analogous in price to the actual stock price. Very interesting. There are some downsides to this. Actually, let me go with the upsides first. That might be the best way to start this. Upsides, 24/7 market access, okay? Fractional ownership. If I want to buy $5, if I only have $5 and I want to get in on that sweet Tesla gains, I can buy $5 of Tesla instead of a full, hundreds of dollar share. Okay. There is low barrier for new or small investors. And then it's easy to get a diversified portfolio with even small amounts. Second, global accessibility, right? There are people that are out of our country that can't do investments in this. Are your eyes okay? Why do you have that so close to your head, your face?
I'm so blind.
You can wear your glasses.
No,
anyway,
I don't want to today.
I just saw you like, oh my gosh.
I'm like, what does this say? My God.
Next one, seamless integration with DeFi, okay? Using tokenized stocks as collateral in lending protocols. That's interesting. You can actually get a loan and you'll need collateral and you can actually use these tokenized stocks. You can earn a yield by providing liquidity in stock-backed pools. So if a lot of people are going to buy a Tesla stock, you can add some liquidity to that and actually earn some yield off of it. And then it enables advanced strategies like automated trading, arbitrage, any of that. And you could all do this on chain and you could bot trade like that. Instant settlement. Forget, 2-day delays, trades settle immediately on chain. Funds in your assets are transferred in real time. There's no middlemen or clearing houses. The GameStop thing where, they just stopped it where you couldn't even trade and all these trade halts, that is gone whenever you're dealing with these decentralized trading, okay? Programmable, these stocks become smart contract compatible. So you can automate strategies that sell my token if Apple drops 10%, swap dividends into stable coins monthly if you're getting a
That's
dividend.
awesome.
Yeah. Enhanced transparency. All transactions are on chain. You don't have to worry about, what's it called? Not black market. Is it shadow market? There's a term that's used in stocks that basically are backroom kind of deals that are happening. And it's not black market. It's something akin like that. But for some reason, I can't
Dark pool?
word find. Dark pool. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. All these dark pool transactions. Well, you have transparency whenever you're dealing with it with blockchain. Multi-asset portfolios in one wallet. Potential for lower fees. Okay. Generally, the stock market has fees, although Robinhood and some of these other companies are trying to be competitive with each other and they're lowering their fees. And then borderless and censorship resistance. Unlike traditional brokers, Xstock operates completely on a decentralized infrastructure. So also you hold custody of your assets, right? Whenever I buy from Webull, okay, or you buy, MicroStrategy from Webull, you don't necessarily have that stock in hand. Your account says you have the stock, but you could get into the not your broker, not your stocks, right? Because if you get tokenized assets, it actually is you own the token on your wallet with your seed phrase that you owned. Okay, so that's some of the good things. But I want to go with some of the bad things because you know me. At first, I hear tokenized stocks and I'm like, oh, I'm rubbing my hands together. I think this is great. Well,
let's hear the cons.
It's not always great. Yeah, let's hear the cons. Christine, you got in on MicroStrategy a few weeks ago. I don't remember when you got in it, but weeks ago, months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And you are now getting dividends from having MicroStrategy, which is great. But if I own the tokenized version of MicroStrategy, at least as it's set up right now, You don't own the stock, so you don't get dividends. Okay. Even if the people that own the
Oh.
tokenized version of the stock get the dividends, you don't unless they pass it on to you. Also, some people enjoy, if they own a lot of a stock, to have voting rights. You have shareholder voting rights, right? So I can determine how, if I own a big amount of the stock, I can determine how that company is going to do with some of their voter decisions by voting. Well, you get no shareholder voting rights at annual meetings, okay? So that applies
That
to...
sucks.
It does. It does. And that makes it to where maybe this isn't the way of the future. But nonetheless, I said the good things, I've got to say the bad things. Regulatory gray areas. In the US and many countries, these tokens are considered securities. If platforms don't register and operate under exemptions, they can be shut down. Okay, so imagine if you owned a few $1 million in NVIDIA 2 years ago, Christine, and you're thinking like, I should be rich now, right? Because NVIDIA's went way up, but you own tokenized versions that ended up being held on FTX's brokerage account. You no longer own, you no longer have a way to liquidate that, okay?
That's
Yeah, because you may own, I said you have self-custody, but if it's through this company, anyway, it gets to be a
but
little more
it
gray
could
area.
upgrade.
It could, but if whoever owns that smart contract does something weird, then it's a regulatory gray area. There is counterparty and custody risk. For fully backed tokens, you rely on a custodian to actually hold the shares, right? Somebody owns these Tesla shares. Somebody owns these MicroStrategy shares. I'm merely buying custody of that share. It's like a tokenized asset. You know how like you can get an NFT and you're actually owning a small sliver of an actual real world art piece, right? That was the whole idea that you could do with some NFTs. Scottie Pippen, he's got his Game 5 ball that actually was used in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. And he actually has tokenized that. Well, he owns that ball. You may own a little piece of it through a token, but he holds it. He holds that ball,
Yeah.
okay? Well, same here with stocks. Somebody actually owns, is the custodian to the real shares. If they mismanage it, or they get hacked, well, then you're exposed. Low liquidity. This is a big deal. Most tokenized stocks have very little trading volume. Whenever you and I are trading options, what's one of the first columns we look at? We want to look at its volume, right? How many contracts are actually owned on that particular strike price, right? Low liquidity is a big deal. If not many people are buying and selling, well, you're
stuck.
You're out of luck. Yeah, you're stuck. Exactly. Much like an NFT that you have that nobody's buying anymore, you're stuck. And that's what could happen
I'm
with
stuck.
an actual, right, you're stuck. That could actually happen with a stock, which normally wouldn't happen if you had it through a centralized exchange, okay? Limited selection, you only get a few popular tickers, okay? If we had, smaller like OTC markets, at least as of right now, those aren't available to be gotten in these X stock ways. And then lastly, it's experimental tech. Many platforms are new and experimental and are not as battle tested as NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange infrastructure. And as we know, self-custody, or I should say, as you know now, self-custody comes at a price, right? Whenever you're doing self-custody, you might lose your phone. You might have all kinds of things that could make not just your crypto in danger, but also your stocks. Were you worried at all with your phone when you lost it that your stocks, not stocks, but your stock accounts may be compromised? Like somebody could do a withdrawal into their checking account or something like that. Were you worried about that at all?
I was less worried
Yeah.
about that. And I think it's because, I don't know, I was more worried about my crypto. And I was like, stupid idiot, like, why did you have like so much in like certain wallets and have it in your phone? Like, what a dummy. You better hope that your seed phrase. But with the stock, I don't know why I wasn't too worried about it. I just feel like there's a lot of, there's someone I could call and be like, hey, someone stole my phone. I need, they might have access. I need you guys to freeze that whole thing. There's no one we can call.
You can't call the crypto hotline. You can't call the CEO of Bitcoin to figure something out. So you were stuck a little bit there, and that kind of sucks. So in the end, I am a my moniker is the voice of DeFi, right? I love decentralized finance. I love being able to buy stocks on chain. But as of right now, I'm probably not going to do that too much. The only reason I would, let me just say this, the only reason I would is if you came to me and you said, Voice, Tesla is about to go bonkers. I feel it strongly. I feel it in my bones, okay? Buy big, okay? And I say, well, I can't even buy a Tesla share, right? But I could buy a fraction of a Tesla share with major leverage through one of these companies, and I could still profit through that. I might do that there. And I would think of it just like crypto, in that this could go completely sideways and I could get, call it rugged on Tesla, not because of Tesla, but because of who's running the decentralized platform. So I could see me using it, but I'm probably not. I don't know that it's ready for me to use it just yet. So I probably won't do that just yet.
Yeah. Speaking of this, before I forget, that was all amazing info. It says the SEC declares crypto liquid staking activities are not considered securities.
Oh, well, that's nice for staking.
That's
Seriously,
breaking.
because that is good. Because always, whenever I do taxes, get this question about, are you doing any staking? And I literally have to think back, like, did I? I don't even remember if I did it this year or not. And I always have to think about those kind of things. So that's good news for sure, right there. Well, very interesting. You and I with two different kind of personal stories. Yours with losing your phone. By the way, do you still go looking where that phone was just because you wonder now, or is it just bricked?
Yes, it's bricked, but like you could still, because it's enabled, like the lost phone is enabled,
Right.
you could still track it. And Sam's like, just delete it. Stop looking at it. What are you gonna do? But I keep looking.
Where's the last place it was?
It was like, so I checked yesterday, and it was like in a mobile home park in Las Vegas.
Let's say you would have been able to find where it was in the hotel, right? Down to the room. What would you have done?
That's crazy, because I brought that up. I said, I wish this Find My iPhone thing could give more details, like what room they're in. And he's like, oh my gosh, like what? I was like, because I would go to the room and like start banging on the door. But obviously, thinking about that, that's not a good idea.
That's a horrible idea. Yes, that is a very bad idea.
Very bad.
So yeah, don't do that. That's why I asked. I was just gonna see where your mind was.
No,
about
my
getting-
mind is bad. Like I would make those bad decisions, and like there's a reason why they don't give us all that information, guys, because you know that technology can. They're just like, no, because there's just people like you that would go chase your phone down and risk your life, because you don't know, people kill each other for like $500. A phone is like what, worth $1,000 these days. So
Yeah. So let's say this happens again. You're up at was it like an electronic craps machine,
Yeah.
right? And somebody leans over to you, gets in your personal bubble, your personal space, and they say, hey, you might want to get that purse a little closer to you. Somebody's going to do something. What do you do now? What if you had it over again, what do you do now?
Well, moving forward now, I'm just not going to put my phone down anywhere, like even next to me,
Yes.
in front of me, whatever. I'll just have it in my pocket or just in my purse at all times. But if I didn't learn my lesson and still had it out, now I wouldn't, like, if someone walked up, I wouldn't look at them. I would look at where their hands are going, because now I
Yes.
know that's a strategy.
Yep, they were trying to use your thoughts of, oh my gosh, I need to pay attention to my purse, and they took your phone. That's a crazy story. You know what's funny? As soon as you got on, I noticed that you had a different phone case. And I was like, oh, she switched phone cases. But you didn't switch phone cases. You switched phones. So
And then a new case, obviously. Sam thinks this one's better. I do like the other one I had more, but this one, I guess, protects it more. He just doesn't trust me now with...
yeah, he's lost all trust with you. By the way, today, supposedly, the Solana phones start going out to
Finally,
people.
are you freaking kidding me? How long has that been?
Oh, I pre-bought it more than a year ago, I think. And let me say, I don't know if it's going to be my daily driver for that Solana phone. I think it's called the Seeker. But if you'll remember on the Solana 1, they had huge airdrops that they did on that. And people were making like $2,000 off of a $400 phone. So I almost got it for the airdrops. I don't know if they'll do an airdrop or not, but they did some big airdrops on the Solana Phone 1. So I don't know if I'm going to use it as my daily driver phone.
You still get airdrops?
Yes. uh, I got some airdrops already just from buying the phone because you get an address. So I got some of those already. And then I actually thought about making this as my topic today. There was one called Grass, and it basically uses your extra bandwidth that you have on your machine. Yeah, you can, I think it's getgrass.io, something like that. Yeah, I got an airdrop from them, and that was within the last few months.
I miss money airdrops.
You like money airdrops? Yes. Well, that's what Grass was.
Just
Grass was,
remember I love that.
Yeah, it was on Solana. You could just trade Grass for Solana, and then you had your Solana, and you could do whatever you wanted to with that. So airdrops are still a thing. Don't think airdrops are done. Yeah. They're not done. All right, that is all the time we have today. I've enjoyed this. Something is wrong with our connection today, Christine. I don't know if it's you're frozen right now. Don't know if you feel frozen, but you're frozen to me. And yeah, something's weird with our connection today. Although this happened to me the other day. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I was like, everything's frozen right now. I just was hearing bits and pieces.
Okay. I think it might be your connection. On the sound check, Sam thought you were connected on the cell phone and not on the regular Wi-Fi. Like your cell phone was providing your Wi-Fi. I don't know. So
what?
I don't know. Look into that. But anyway, I'm the one who had the tech difficulties 2 weeks ago. Now
I have to look because
see if you can figure out what the deal is. All right, well, that is all the time we have today. Let's do this outro. And by the way, if you've listened to this and you've enjoyed something out of this, that was a great story that Christine had, by the way, on her time. Share this out. Even if we're about to end this out, share it out. People listen on replay. And I do think the more and more people that listen to what we do, today was more of a cautionary tale of why you might listen, but it is a good way to keep up with what's going on. You would have known about the Sydney Sweeney controversy probably before it actually happened. Today, you know about Dunkin' Donuts before it actually happened, and all the stories we talked about versus in addition to the education that we kind of provide here as well. So share this out. People really do, I think, need to hear some of the information that we share on here. So do your friend a favor, do your timeline a favor. I'm telling you, people are about to unfollow you if you don't provide some value to your followers, right?
Yeah.
And sharing this out might be the one thing that makes them stay with you, and not unfollow you. So be ready for that. All right, until then, we will see you next week for episode 21. Till then, peace.
Chasing the thrill of the digital hive. Stocks and tech, you know when they get code. This is the path where the bold explode. Beyond the charts, the story unfolds. Fortunes are built in the data it holds. From crypto skies to entertainment streams, pushing the edge, chasing dreams unseen. By the roar, the story unfolds. Fortunes are built in the data it holds. From crypto skies to entertainment streams, pushing the edge, chasing dreams unseen. By the rumor where the silence screams, in a world of risks and electric dreams. Become the future, take the ride. Sharp minds up on the darker side. Sharp minds up on the darker side. Charts don't lie, but the faces do. Watch the market sway like it's testing you. The gossip's currency is hard to ignore. Behind locked doors lies so much more.